Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, one.
On the troll.
Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, one.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We're back again. I'm hoping that I'm audible to you guys because I seemingly cannot hear myself. And I don't know why. Maybe someone took my headsets. I'm trying to find a way of finally hearing myself.
Okay, as you find your way, guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. I'm so sorry we're so late. It's my fault. I had other engagements during the day and I couldn't follow the proceedings like I usually do. I was distracted. There was something else that I was doing. So I had to catch up very late. Yeah, it was a long day for me. That's all you have to know, that it was definitely a very long day. But we are here still. We made it. We made it. Didn't we, Mr. Anonymous?
No, we didn't, because I'm still struggling to hear myself. And
okay, already this is a bad start. Guys, we will come back. Can you please end this broadcast so that we start it over?
why?
Because you're saying that you can't hear yourself. And
Oh,
don't
now
know
I
what to
can.
do
Now I
with
can.
that.
Now I can. I don't know whose headsets are these, but whoever these
They are
headsets
mine.
are for, I don't know who sets them. They are just, I don't know.
I hope they are working because I need to hear when people call us.
Can you please test them? Please test them because I don't want to.
Yeah, they're fine.
They're fine. Yes, guys, it is Mzansi. Welcome back to our channel. And sorry about that. Sorry about the things that go through load shading and then they start load shading themselves. So I guess load shading is a problem to even our gadgets. Greetings. It was, again, I think, the grandstand closing. I don't
Yeah.
know what you thought. It was good. It was giving.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what the judge thought of it. But according to me, it was indeed giving. So,
But let me note, I hope he's seeing where this problem that he has is doing. I really hope and pray that from now on there will be no assisting of witnesses to answer certain questions. Because I saw with Advocate Mshololo's cross-examination that I hope, it's no offense and with no disrespect, but we need the answers to come from the witnesses.
we do. It's not a secret. That is true. We do need these witnesses to
There's no
answer
need to
these
assist
questions.
them.
And
We get that time is of the essence and you're probably in a hurry, but so far so good. The pace has been wonderful. It's been great. But in the respect of wanting to rush, let us also consider that there's your side of the story, there's my side of the story, and then somewhere in between, there's the truth.
should be. And what is right in your eyes, and that's a problem that I have. If one person sits and decides on people's life, at least there must be about 3 or 4 people. And I'm saying this because what you deem not fit, in a sense that it does not actually make any difference, it might make difference in my decision. Remember, this is all about making someone take a decision. So if certain things are already deemed not fit, becomes a problem. But that being said, we are not here to gun for anyone or a judge. Let us now proceed
It's with
accordingly.
respect.
Let us
we
proceed
do
accordingly.
like you, Judge Rata Mkhatling. We do like you, but Yeah, it's just that part, that minor detail in jail.
Let us continue because I don't want this to become an attack to that judge.
No, it's not. It's not. Thokozisi Twala was cross-examined today by Advocate Zitulele Nxumalo. He was continuing from his cross-examination from yesterday, and Nxumalo said, in your evidence in chief, you said you were one of the people who loaded the deceased in his BMW S6 X6, not S6 X6. And Twala said yes. Did you see Longwe at that stage? And Twala said no. Nxumalo read a statement that was done by Mthokozisi, and I quote, this is what he read: when I walked into the house, I saw Senzo lying in the sitting room, bleeding on the chest. We then put the towel and took him to the car with Zandi's boyfriend and others. I even heard a Tumelo there somewhere.
Yeah, there's Zandi's boyfriend, Tumelo, and the others, which is the neighbors.
Then Twala said, I see that, but it is not Zandi's boyfriend who was assisting, but Zandi.
Changes.
Then Nxumalo read a statement from Longwe, which he says he tried to help put Senzo in the car. Twala said that's a statement he wrote, but he doesn't remember him being there trying to load or help load Senzo into the car. Nxumalo then said, how many shots did you hear? Twala said, one when I was inside and another one as I was outside. So two. Nxumalo referred to a statement. I don't know one thing I like about Nxumalo. He will dig up them statements.
He deals with statements. I think his position here is dealing with evidence in chief.
He will pull them statements. That's what I like about him. Nxumalo referred to a statement by Mthokozisi in which he refers to one shot.
Yeah.
In this statement, nowhere do you say you heard a second shot. And Twala said, when a statement is taken from you, you might not remember everything and recall later.
Yes.
Tata, yabani memory abantu laba besendlini isebenza ngenye indlela. Their memory nje. It's very, very interesting. Then Nxumalo then said, Zandi said that one gunshot was fired in the kitchen and ran to the bathroom, and two other shots were fired when she was in the bathroom.
Yes.
She also said when she was in the bathroom squatting, she opened the bathroom door and saw the deceased moving from the kitchen towards the sitting room. Then Twala said, I can't speak about Zandi's statements. You can ask me about mine. Nxumalo then said, you told this court about how you exited the door. Was it open or closed? And Twala said, I don't think I would have exited if it was closed. Twala doesn't have a tendency of answering questions when they are placed before him.
He requires someone who probe and seek for an answer, one resolved answer, in a sense.
Exhaust him.
One question can take two questions. One answer required can take you 2 to 3 questions before you get into your answer.
I don't think. I don't think. I think. I don't think. I think. That's more or less his style of answering. Then Nxumalo then said, who opened the door? Twala said, I won't be able to answer that because I never said the door was shut.
All right.
As the scuffling was happening, was the door open or shut? That's what I would have done. But fortunately, that's not me in that position.
No, that's not you.
Yeah, me, I'm a different story. I cannot do what these lady and gentlemen are doing. Nxumalo then said, Colonel Mangena said the other shot was fired towards the door at a downward angle. He said it was an unstable bullet.
Yeah.
Before the bullet hit the door, it hit the deceased. Now, when he pulled this bullet statement from the expert, I think it's a ballistic expert, I just felt like now Mthokozisi was getting a minimal now. Like it was like he was confused now. Yeah, bo?
Yeah, it does get confusing with these things. I mean,
Whenever they talk about the actual gunshots that ended his friend that he loved so much's life, he just becomes like confused.
and we accept that. What can we do? We accept.
Then Nxumalo asked, how is it probable that the bullet would have hit the back of the door, but the door was opened after you ran out of the house? The state objected and said that ballistic evidence should be put to experts. It's too technical. No, but he needed to answer that question. I get it, he was saying that the door was closed. That's what he said. And then he moved on to say that he couldn't have exited when the door was closed. So at what point in time was this door open? We would like to know that. And Twala said, I won't comment on what somebody else says in their statements. This is where you needed a lawyer that actually like follows up. Because
What would you have said? What would you have said there?
I would have wanted to know at what point during the scuffle did the door open?
The answer would be, I do not know.
Okay, as long as it's on the record.
I'm just saying, because that's how this man, I'm looking at his patterns. He would have said, no, I do not know.
And at any point in time during the scuffle, as the scuffle was happening, was the door closed or open? At the beginning, after the intruder entered the house, did they close the door or not, or leave it open?
He would have said, I couldn't have seen that because I was sitting here, wherever he was sitting. Only Popora guy, girl would have seen that. So that Mapopola would have seen that because Mapopola likes to see what is going on.
And I would read Mapopola's statement to say that she says that when the second intruder entered, they closed the door. Yeah, man. Hi. Yeah. I was like,
And then people think about it, man. Someone gets in to come and take something or steal, or they close the door. That's a difficult job for yourself, because anything can happen within the house. They normally don't close the doors. That's why they break the doors sometimes, right?
Yes.
So that they can access what they need to access.
Yes.
Whether the door is closed or not, they don't look at that.
You know why I like following up questions? Because at the end, when you say, I put it to you that I put it to you sticks.
How do you know if
Because
it sticks?
it's in the record that you can't remember, you don't see, you don't see. You'll
No, I'm
just say no comment.
I'm just saying,
or
maybe
say, I don't remember. Or
maybe
I don't
the
have an opinion.
appetite to put it to someone is not there based on the circumstances. You just want to highlight and leave it, because once you probe, then Mr. Vaseline is bound to stand up. My lord, I would like to submit that I don't see where such a lay person can understand such
see
technicalities.
If you allow me to ask questions.
And we feel, my lord, that is not supposed to be put here. Perhaps it should be left for arguments, my lord.
Why does he want everything to be left for argument? Because what is the point of those arguments when there's gaps in between?
Because that's when he's going to kill you. Perhaps he knows that.
I wouldn't agree to this left for argument. I want to follow up because I will have gaps in my argument. You are not going to have those gaps.
He trusts himself when it comes to that. But do you trust the people that you call to testify that much to draw you up? No, I don't think so. So the pain, this excruciating pain of going through that and sitting down, seeing them contradict themselves, and then from there you need to debunk that.
I can imagine.
It's rather a very fruitless exercise, my lord.
Yeah, I can imagine what he's going through, because Mdogo is all over the place now.
No, Mdogo is a mess. I don't know.
Well, Nxumalo said, what was the main reason for you to run out of the house? And Tala said, panic, safety, a lot. Nxumalo asked assistance also. Then Tala said, yes, I did so. I did ask for assistance. Ngumalo then asked, did you ask the neighbors to assist? Twala said, no. I rushed back into the house to rush Senzo to the hospital.
Yeah.
Ngumalo asked, did you see the first intruder leaving the house? Twala said, no. After you jumped back into the Kumalo yard, you were in the vicinity of the Kumalos. And Twala said, yes. Obviously. Yeah, Twala. Ngumalo then said, how did you not see the first intruder leaving? Twala said, it is obvious he was going to hide. It's a thug. Ngumalo.
So are you suggesting that perhaps he used the other exit? Maybe behind
You see
the
why
house.
those follow up? I don't know. Maybe they pop up in my head or something. I don't know how it is in the law of fraternity. I wouldn't speak on behalf of that. I have no idea. But I would maybe assume that you don't have to follow your script to the T. If you listen carefully, you can navigate around what the answer is, right?
What we can gather here is that if the truth comes out, it's easy to repeat everything. But it is harder to repeat the lies. See, the longer you stay, the longer you keep lying, the harder it is for you to remember what you said initially. More so if you are a person who speaks for long. I always say that if you are going to lie, I'm not saying that anyone lied, but if you are going to lie, try to stick to shorter sentences, or even one answer, yes or no, stuff like that, because it's easier to remember that than to remember the whole paragraph of what happened. Like the issue of Zutu, I mean, that issue is left hanging. It is not clear as to whether these people were Zulus or not.
And they're going to use it for argument, the defense.
Yes, because you can explain the difference from people from eThekwini. One can argue that people from Thekwini, they speak almost the similar Zulu to people from Richards Bay, Mpangeni, around that place. And indeed, the only difference that you would find is that the T of someone from Kwanongoma is, like I said, Vutela. The Durban one will be like Vutela, something like that. But it still says the same thing. It doesn't distort the language itself, the meaning or anything behind it. That's what it does. So how you actually misunderstood the person just because they speak a different Zulu, it baffles me, as one would say. It just doesn't make sense. It's like you are fishing in a pond or in a swimming pool. It does not make sense.
And we're not going to overlook the fact that you didn't quote that intruder verbatim. What I mean to say is, you all who so far have testified from the house, that's Miss Popola included, cell phones and money, cell phones and money, cell phones and money. You don't want to quote verbatim what the intruder says. And from an experience of trauma, you would be able to recall how it was said.
It is difficult to... I remember when I was caught, the first time when I was robbed, Emil.
Yes.
That side of Skawin, that area, at some point it used to be very dangerous. So I still remember, I was still at high school at the time, but I still remember what they said.
Word for
word, yes. And they had a gun, because they came and said, I'm a cell phone. We tried to, and then they say, hey, shit.
Yeah.
That's how things are.
Letter.
Cell phone. And then obvious.
For me, it was Tlisa.
Hey, obvious. That's how things are. And then you give that person. How can you forget that after 10 years? No, you won't forget it. Because it was a difficult situation. Welcome, Slow Kumalo. as a member. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for joining. Thank you.
So, but if and the other thing is that you can train for everything, but small questions. That's why I'm saying what they call a white lie, just a lie that is not important or even not in, and that's why I have a problem because you can say it's not important if someone just lies about where they were, the position in the house, but that's what makes you a credible person because you remember those small details.
Yes.
If you were telling the truth, for example, you would remember those small details and you wouldn't even need to sync them, try to sway your answer to fit a certain narrative. You would just say what you need to say, and someone else is called, they would still collaborate your story without even having to be asked 3 times or 4 times before they corroborate your story.
It's true.
Or without even going de novo and coming back, and then all of a sudden you're now
has changed.
kind of synchronized a bit.
Now Lorraine's story, especially with the traveling throughout Sunday, Lorraine's story is now Mthokozisi's story before or prior to
Exactly.
And Mthokozisi, the one who introduced the story of how they went
Has
into
changed the story a bit.
The friend's mother's house. He left out that part, the part where they went to for. Now he doesn't want to be specific about the go-karting, whether it was a part of the party or not, which he was very specific when the first time he testified. And then Lorraine took what she took and she remembered as well, and she came and corroborated that part. Just when we thought, okay, maybe Mtogo is onto something, he comes back with a totally different story.
What we are noticing is that there is a bit of change of statements from what happened previously, but still with that change, there is still indeed that contradiction that is not accounted for.
So, Togo. Yeah, it was so easy for you. I wonder what's going to happen in the end. Then it was now time for Advocate Zandile Mshololo to do her cross-examination. She started off by asking Thokozisi what was the standard or the highest standard of his education. The state objected to this question. This is Advocate Baloy, and he said, I think a witness must be respected. It is irrelevant.
This is not about respecting the witness, if I might explain. This, without saying it, and I saw that Mshololo, she ended up not explaining exactly what she wanted to say. Reason being is that in being objected like that, it's like we are requested to show your hand before you even... that game of tell me whether this is head or tail. Yes. It's like you are showing me that this is head in any case. Because why Mshololo would ask that question is because he wanted to make sure that Mtogo does not denounce the statements that he signed for, the statements that he wrote with that person. And more so, if he could answer, because he's someone who's seemingly still studying. That's the last time I heard. So that means this is someone who understands what is written in English.
Yeah, with the English that he uses.
Yes.
He's using isiZulu, but the words
there's a lot
that
of
he
English
throws
in it. Yes.
Are deep words that
So
you
Mshololo,
don't just get from the streets or you get from just J.
So Mshololo asking that question, it is mainly not to undermine anyone's education, level of education, but mostly it is so that, and if you consider the fact that this person is claiming to have edited the book that is written in English. Yes. So that is someone who can comprehend what is written in English. So to denounce the certain statements when it suits you, it sort of kills the purpose of being cross-examined. It kills everything because it's like we are saying, I couldn't understand what was written there. But yet you signed. So that's what he was trying to do.
And now throughout the court, he can pinpoint stuff in the statements that he says were not said by him. They were said wrong, or they were written wrong. They were not said by him. He can remember those for tat, because they don't align with his testimony currently in court.
Exactly.
So it's important to know what level of education he is. With this witness, it was
And
important.
and I don't know if you notice when he was questioned, probed, as we are going to go to that part about the relationship between Zandi and Senzo. When he eventually answered, it was fluent, it was flowing, it was without a shadow of doubt exactly the feeling and the truth of what was happening between them, even denouncing the fact that there was going to be any lobola taking place there. That is someone who's got conviction and sure of what he's saying.
Yes.
So if that was maintained throughout the testimony and the cross-examination, then that's when we start believing the story. But because you only, when it suits the narrative, because there's nothing to take on that story, but only to say that perhaps it could have been Miss KK who actually pulled the trigger because there was problems in a relationship. That's why I think Mshololo was driving this conversation. That's basically what he wanted to say. But because the story was too good and too nice to even continue with that, she tried to bring that, and it was already too late because Mtogo was explaining that story so good. And that is where I only felt that, now we're telling exactly what happened.
Yeah, Mshololo continued to say it's important to know the competency of the witness and how he observed the events that happened. The judge overruled the question, and Mshololo continued with her next question to say, were you working at the time of the incident?
And that's the one way. So there, in that continuation, what she was trying to do was to still get the same answer that he wanted initially, that he couldn't get by asking a direct question of level of education. In a sense that you have at some point signed some contract, and we know that those contracts are not in Zulu,
Yes,
they are in English. And most statements are written in Zulu. In English, than Zulu.
English,
So
yes.
that's why Togo keeps on saying, no, that's not me, that's not... so all these people that are going to come here,
All of them the same strategy.
I would assume that most of them, they are good commanders of English.
Well, they're not going to use the English language in the court. But we know, because some of them are in the media.
Yes. We know one who was not good, but because of media presence all the time, she's a good English speaker now.
So Mshololo then asked, were you working at the time of the incident? And Twala said he was doing promotional jobs, but not working a 9 to 5. Mshololo then asked, for how long? Then Twala said 2 years, because in 2015, he got a stable job. And he even mentioned the company name that he got a job in.
Is it Bonitas?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then Mshololo asked, at the time of incident, you could differentiate between right and wrong. You were no longer a child, but an adult. And Twala said, I could say so. Then Mshololo asked, when you signed these 2 statements, you knew what you were doing. And Twala said, I would say it was the first time deposing statements. So he's saying that was the first time for him to write statements. Mshololo then went on the statement that Twala first wrote after the incident. Mshololo said, it is your evidence that the 2 intruders came inside to demand money and cell phones. When you ran out being chased by a second intruder, did he not rob you or ask for money? Twala said he didn't, because I was running and he didn't get me. Then Mshololo asked, if that person had the intention to rob you, he would have caught you while you were jumping into the ngatches. Twala said, in my running, I would have made sure he didn't catch me.
Which, of course, you did.
Then Mshololo asked, you also said the one had a gun, swore, and demanded money and cell phones. Then Twala said, I don't remember saying that he had the swear word. Why is he denying the swear word so much?
It has nothing actually in it except that what he's trying to do is to say what he's saying is true and just sort of prove that perhaps I'm a truthful person, what I say, I stand by it.
It's not actually, Mtogo. This swear word has nothing actually to. In fact, because it was in your statement, it made your story more believable. Now that you're forcing for it to be taken out like this, and I don't see the purpose of it being taken out, in my opinion, except for the purpose of it aligning with what everyone else in the house had written on their statements. And that makes me highly doubtful of what you're saying, in my opinion. That's my opinion. So I don't see the purpose of him denying the swear word so much, especially if it happened.
Yeah.
Then Mshololo then asked, you said if there is a contradiction between other witnesses on what the suspect was wearing, you won't be surprised because you were confused. In other words, when the incident happened, you were confused. Then Twala said everything happened very fast, but he's denying that he was confused. A robbery type of situation causes confusion. I've been robbed before.
Yeah, it does. And that's what this prior and obviously.
Yeah,
and that's why they even more you sometimes.
Yes, it's to
so
create
that
that
they
confusion.
create confusion. You don't think of
I remember my mind came back after like a good 2 to 3 hours. I'm like, what just happened to me? I couldn't believe it. I was very confused. Do you understand? So Mshololo then asked, so you deny you were confused? Twala said, I won't confirm or deny that. Then Mshololo said, you also said the second suspect was carrying a knife and you wouldn't describe the knife. Then Twala said, yes. Mshololo said, the reason why you can't describe it is because there was no second suspect in the house. You say you cannot describe the knife. Twala said, yes. You cannot give the description because there was no second intruder. And Twala said there was a second person there carrying a knife and that person chased me. You want me to tell lies now?
Yeah.
Mshololo then said you saw the second suspect. He was in the streets and pointing him to the neighbors. I didn't see his attire. This is what Twala said because it was dark. It was at night. That's what Twala said. Mshololo then pulled up a testimony, or rather Ntabiseng Mukete's testimony in court, who says that she was sitting in the car. Did you see the car? Twala said, where I ran towards, I saw no car. Isn't it funny how you ran towards the direction?
You see, that would have suited the narrative of saying that I jumped the wall from that side, because you are not in position of seeing the car. But once you say you went out like Zandi did, and then you jumped the small gate,
Or
which
the
is
concrete.
almost opposite the car, by the way, and you say you did not see the car, it sort of kills this whole process of whatever. I don't know what it is. These testimonies, where they are going, but
Because it would explain why Ntabiseng never saw any of that jumping at all.
exactly. But now you have added a number of this out of those 3 people that are allegedly are alleged to have passed through Ntabi or around where Ntabi was. You are now that confusion. It could have been you and the person who was running after you. That's 2, and then there's Long, and that's 3. So basically, in a sense, we have one intruder, if there was an intruder at all.
Then Mshololo said, Ntabiseng said it was not dark and she could see people running. Then Twala said it was dark because it was at night. Yes, there are lights in the township. Mshololo said, you are confusing me. Was it dark? Twala said it was dark. Mshololo asked, did you see Ntabiseng at the hospital? Twala said, I don't know who Ntabiseng is. I wouldn't see someone at the hospital I don't know. Mshololo then asked, did you hear Zandi screaming to Ntabiseng?
I think them should downplay her question by saying after this man denounced that he knew Ntabi, which I believe that he didn't know Ntabi at the time, the question would have been, except Zandi's mother, was there any other person that was inside who's not working in a hospital, perhaps? That would be a question.
Were there any other?
Rather than to refer to the same question as Ntabi, because this man has denounced knowing Ntabi. So once you say Ntabi, it's easy. You are even jogging his memory. He's going to say, no, I didn't see any Ntabi, because he told you initially that, in fact, not far from your questions that you've just asked now, you are from exactly that question, and then you start putting a question of Ntabi again. Did you see any lady other than
Zandi's mom?
Yes.
I agree with that. Then Mshololo says, did you hear Zandi screaming to Ntabi saying, Twala said, I did say I heard people screaming and shouting from Kelly Kumalo's house. I recall seeing Kelly's mother as she was coming outside. So Mshololo asked, Ntabi Singh said she was the first person to enter the room where Senzo was, and was the first person to be told that Senzo is no more.
Yes.
But you said Makumalo was called and you followed. And Twala said, I won't say much on that. Zandi's mother went and I followed. Mshololo then asked, when you were inside the room with Makumalo and were told that Senzo is no more, where was Kaylee? And then Twala said, the reception area, crying. Mshololo asked, do you know what happened to the deceased's phone? Twala said, I think it wasn't taken. Mshololo then asked, who was in possession of his phone from the incident to the hospital? Then Twala said that he doesn't know. Mshololo asked, you said Kelly refused to give you the ID. And Twala said, yes, the reason she gave was that she was waiting for his family to come and take it. So she wanted at the time for Senzo's brother to come and fetch it.
You see, small things like, as Caesar is asking here about the amount of alcohol consumed in this case, small things such as the number of these cans that they consume, all of them they claim to have drank at least 3, as if there is a bit of a cap or whatsoever. So you cannot go beyond that. Obvious, when we are drinking, I might be faster. I might be faster in drinking.
Who's counting?
So the 3 is sort of minimizing for the case of sobriety, whether you are in position to testify. It's like a cap that you are given.
Don't go
whatever
beyond
you
3.
allude, you must not go beyond 3.
2.5.
And we have 2 people that have talked about 3 cans. 3 cans consumed, the third one being in the process of being consumed. And I can tell you, probably you would see the same thing with Long. Who's this?
Longwe?
Not Longwe.
Zandi?
Tumelo. Yes.
Oh, I'd even forgotten about that one. Yes. And another thing is that who's counting when they're drinking and having a good time?
Except for someone who actually keeps on standing
Especially
up.
a person who knows that they're not going to be driving.
Who keeps on standing up and throwing these cans. Maybe that person is in position of counting of what the amount of consumption. But other than that, a person who's indulging, they don't count how many times they've indulged.
No. There's no mething happening there. You just want to drink, you understand? So I don't understand this whole capping to 3, under 3, just under 3.
It is so that you are in the middle. As I said, it's all about the average. You are not drunk per se, but you're not 100% sober. That's basically, I think, where this capping comes from.
Now, Mshololo said there is evidence of a SIM swap that was done on the deceased phone. Do you know anything about that? And Twala said, I'm hearing it for the first time. I'm shocked it happened when he was no more. Mshololo asked, but it is your evidence that the ID was with Kaylee until the Tuesday after the incident. And Twala said, yes, I saw it even when she handed it over. Mshololo then asked, what was the relationship like between Kaylee and the deceased at the time? And Twala said they were in love. That's all that he wanted to say because it will seem somehow. And then there was an adjournment. And Mshololo said, I'm going to ask you and continue with this point after the adjournment. So when they came back, Mshololo asked, tell us what was the status of the relationship between the two?
Yeah.
And Twala said, it will be difficult to answer. Can I make a request not to? Yes, Senzo was in a relationship with Kaylee, but most of the time, I wouldn't be there. Twala said, I've never hidden the fact that Mandisa was my close friend, so he would avoid me when he was in the company of Kaylee. Then Mshololo asked, Zandi said the reason Tumelo came to Johannesburg was for lobola negotiations between Senzo and Kaylee. And Twala said there's no such. What I can say is that they loved each other, but there's no such regarding lobola negotiations.
They were dating, not love. They say they were dating.
They were dating, babethandana.
Yeah.
They were dating. So in reference to the issue of lobola negotiations, I wouldn't say it's something that was there because Senzo would have never paid lobola without asking from Mandisa that he wanted to take a second wife, that he would have known. So he's assuring us that if Senzo wanted to take a second wife, Mandisa would have needed to approve. And he would have known about that.
And I cannot fault him in that. He's answering, this is his true opinion, and based on the relationship that he had with these two people, perhaps he's in position of knowing if such things were to happen.
So that of lobola, there is no such. And he flowed like a river.
Yeah, there, you can't fault him. He was just answering. When it comes to relationships, I think for me, I would give him 100 if I was scoring the answers that he gave.
Mshololo asked about the kind of relationship between Longwe and Senzo. Twala said that, I don't know Longwe. I only got to know about him on the day of the incident that he was dating Zandi. What I knew is that they were dating in the same house. Both Senzo and Longwe were dating in the same house. Then, when Longwe walked into the house, they shook hands.
That's where you start listening with a bit of, because it doesn't sound like what was explained in that book or how it was defined in that book.
Even his testimony before De Novo.
Before De Novo, yes. It just doesn't sound like something that would have happened. I don't think it would have happened, but I guess he was there, he saw. And that being said, guys, please subscribe and like the video. I see we have 561 people. I see 100 likes. Can we please push those likes maybe to the same number that we see here on the screen?
Mshololo asked, when the scuffle took place, did you see if Longwe tried to protect the deceased? Then Twala said Longwe was the first one to run out, so he never defended or protected anyone. Mshololo asked, so he left all of you? Twala
and that is in
yes.
line with what Longwe said in the interview, that I was a coward of the day.
Oh, that he was a coward of the day. The radio interview.
Yeah, that is in line with what he said.
Then Mshololo said in hospital, you testified that there was a fight from Mandisa's friends and Kaylee. Do you know what was the fight about? And Twala said, I think because it was Mandisa's friends, knowing what happened to Senzo, perhaps it was heartbreak. Because I think they did not like Kaylee. And maybe with some, they were reminded by the incident where Kaylee and Zandi attacked Mandisa. Mshololo then asked, when the first intruder entered, did he point you with a firearm? What was his action? Twala said he just demanded cell phones and money. It was not pointed at anyone. And they still want to say it's a hit.
So there was no target of some sort. That debunks the issue, the theory of a hit then. Because normally you would get in and do that job. If you know the person you came here for.
You're going to go to that person.
Yes. Then it fits the theory of a mistake.
Then Mshololo asked, you did not see who fired the shot. Then Twala said, I didn't see. With the second one, who you did not see who fired the shot, you did not see whether it was Kelly Kumalo who fired the shot. You did not see that. Then Twala said, I can say it was anyone who was at the house. I did not see specifically Kelly to those who were in the house, because there was Kelly's mother, there was Zandi, there was Kelly, and there was suspect number 1.
Yeah.
So for me, when he answers like this in a way to kind of cover, because I'm thinking there's nothing wrong with Advocate Mshololo, including Kelly, because Kelly has been brought up before.
Yes, and there are statements that I think are sort of bringing Kelly.
Yes, so why are you so going for cover, wanting to protect or take Kelly's name out of this? And this answer was very questionable for me, Mtogo, because I'm like, why are you speaking for everyone you left in the house, Mtogo? You were not there, right?
No.
You should denounce yourself that I didn't see who did that. But you just want to cover and protect. Well, Advocate Mshololo continued to say, Mr. Mtogozisi, let's learn to answer the question. You did not see who fired the shot. Then Twala said, you are asking well now. Now you're asking me well. You mentioned Kelly, so you were biased by mentioning Kelly. I'm like...
You know, when you are loaded with information and you need to unload to unload it, you end up bringing it wherever you're not supposed to bring it. And in different situations like this one, there was no need to actually go that far as to saying that you are biased. How do you know if someone is biased? Because we do this job as lawyers. That's what we do. We're not here to be biased, but we are here to serve the court, or to even serve the court with proper job in terms of evaluating whether they should take whatever that we are saying serious or not. So that's our job. Whether I'm biased or not is a question of you and your view, and then you should shut it inside you.
I wish you would have done that, because now I became like very questionable. I'm like, why is Mtogo on edge at the mentioning of Kelly's name? Why is he so protective of Kelly? Whose friend is he? Is he Kelly's friend or Mandisa's friend? What is going on here?
That's why then Mshololo started moving on the line of as a friend, as a friend, as a friend.
So there was an answer that you did. The answer is that you did not see. And Twala said yes. When you ran out of the premises, did you see Longwe? Twala said no. Ntabse Mukete testified that she saw 2 people running on the street. Twala said, was it possibly you and the second intruder? And Baloyi said that the question might be misleading because he testified that the person ran in the direction of the park, and that is not what this witness did. So Twala was acting dizzy now, asking if Ntabiseng stayed opposite the Ngaches. You know? Like, he's not watching the court proceedings, wink, wink.
Exactly.
Then Twala said he wouldn't know if Mukiti saw him. He was not running along with him. He was ahead of him. He was following him. He does not know where the car was facing. He entered via the small gate of the Ngaches, meaning he jumped next to the small gate by the concrete what. But yeah, he mentions the small gate a lot. Sometimes I get confused where he jumped. Did he jump the gate or jump the concrete? But Gyafana, same thing, same difference. Yeah. So Mshololo then asked, you are saying you never saw whether Longwe ran out to the street? Then Twala said, yes. But in your evidence, Mr. Longwe and yourself said that, and the so-called second intruder. Now, I loved it here because I'm like, Advocate Mshololo, strategy of not acknowledging this intruder. Brilliant. So-called second intruder, you know? Then Twala said, yes. Mshololo asked, when you ran out, did you see if Longwe was on the road? Twala said, no, I didn't see him. Mshololo read Longwe's statement, and I quote, this is what it said: I ran out of the gate and turned left. Now, what would be left? Wouldn't it be the side of the Ngaches?
It would.
Looking for the boys that used to hang out at the corner. The corner. So the corner, I'm going to assume that it's somewhere close to the park. Right?
Yes.
But there was nobody. I heard a gunshot. So now if you had to estimate from him to run from the yard of the Kumalos to this corner, and then he heard what? A gunshot, right?
Yeah.
But there was nobody. I then heard a gunshot, 2 loud ones. The third one was not loud. I cannot say it was a gunshot or not. I had my phone with me, but the battery was low. After the gunshots, I took a decision to go back to the house. I didn't go back immediately.
Yeah.
Now they asked him, Thokozisi Twala, did you see him standing on the street? Twala said, as I said, I don't remember seeing him. Longwe said, I decided to go back into the house. So it is your evidence that you can't recall if he came back or not. Twala said, yes. Mshololo asked, was Longwe present when you carried the deceased to the car? Twala said, I don't remember seeing him. Mshololo asked, he says he drove to the hospital with Kelly's mother. Twala said, I wouldn't know because I had already left. Mshololo asked, is there anyone who moved away from the scene of the incident except for Mr. Longwe Twala? Then Thokozisi said, the person I remember was standing was Kelly. Kelly is the one who ran into the bedroom. But us, there was no one who moved. So before the first shot was fired, then Twala said, yes. Just tell the court what you saw. The scuffle was in the kitchen when Kelly ran into the bedroom. Twala said, that is why I'm saying that when the scuffle started, Kelly was in the bedroom. But at the continuing of the scuffle, Kelly got out of the bedroom.
Yes.
That is what I'm explaining. So my question or my opinion, I have to ask. He had time to observe Kelly's movements.
Exactly. That's what I said. Like all the things that are not necessary, he remembers them.
He had time to take his phone from the TV stand. He had time to look at what Kelly was doing. He had time to lift Kelly Kumalo's son from the left side to the right side, or from the kitchen to the living room, whatever it was. He had time. Mtoko, you had a lot of time.
Yeah. Just a request, guys, as you drink your water, Emily, we I would say 22 people shy from 25,500. Those who haven't subscribed, can you just
Please subscribe
and then like the video? And for those who want to give, there is that chat button down there on the chat that shows a $sign. You press that button and then you should continue from there. Super thanks or whatsoever that you want to choose. And then you choose your amount, and that's how you give. Join membership. It shows here as we are busy showing it right now. The membership is joined in, and you subscribe like that. You join, as we are showing on the buttons there. If you're not part of the members or you still want to be a member, we are going to start work on content for members now. That's what we're going to do. But that does not mean that we're going to change what we're doing here.
We'll continue.
We're still going to give you 120% effort of everything. And we thank you for being with us, for choosing us. That is appreciated.
Highly appreciated. Thank you, guys. And please press that like button, okay?
We are on
Hit the like
653 right
button.
now.
And push the subscribers to what? 20? I don't know.
25,500.
25,500. Please give us the push to the 500. Please, guys, we'd really appreciate it. So Mshololo then asked, when Kelly ran into the bedroom, did she take her kids? And Twala said, I don't think she would be able to do that. The one was in the bedroom sleeping, and the other one was right here where the incident was happening. So Mshololo says she did not take the child and run with the child into the bedroom. And Twala said, yes. Is there anyone else who ran away from the spot of the scuffle? Then Twala said, I don't know whether I'll be saying they were running away or following me, but I will say it was number 2, the tall one. He was following me.
You see what makes this whole case difficult? The threat guy is the guy who's not counted in the house. It still does not make sense how you're going to put that guy in action. As they say, the guy that got in or had dreads. They couldn't define or explain how that guy looked. Now they trying to explain how he looks. It's not going to help. I don't think it will help. It will ever help at this point in time. The fact that you are saying the person who was inside, and there's only one person who had dreads out of these people, and the 2 that we are pointing never had dreads. So how do you explain this whole thing?
Then Zandi Kumalo testified that when I heard that bullet hitting the floor, Dumelo and I heard the same thing. We were able to confirm that we were hearing the same thing. I ran into the bathroom and he ran into the bedroom. Sabegana. Sa shoguti, sibukin toyotwa. Bese, mina ngati bathroom, yena ati bedroom. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, I remember this too.
Did you see her running into the bathroom? Then Twala said, I didn't see her face because I also ran out. I could only see what was in front of my eyes. What was in front of your eyes? Then Zandi testified that 3 shots were fired inside the house, and you testified that only 2 were fired. Which one is correct? Twala said, what I heard. What was heard by Zandi, that is what she heard.
Yes.
Mshololo then asked, before this incident, you were enjoying yourselves, eating and drinking, and also watching soccer. Then Twala said, yes. Mshololo said, this is the only evidence police found at the scene. You said you consumed Hunter's gold. Then Twala said, yes. Mshololo said, do you see it there? Twala said, it's not there. As you were drinking, did you see anyone picking up the cans? And Twala said, I can't say I remember seeing anyone, but we wouldn't leave the cans lying around with an elder person around.
But you didn't get a chance of leaving. You were in a process of leaving. You didn't get that chance of exiting in a proper way, like you would normally exit. You were going to say your goodbyes, and from there, everything changed.
This answer is rather ambiguous because you are not saying whether you were picking up the cans or not, whether somebody else was picking up the cans, or whether the cans were left there. It's very ambiguous, this answer. I can't get, there's nothing.
I think Mapiri must come and answer for herself, because that almost pertains to what happened after the incident with that house. And Mapiri has a lot of explaining to do.
She does. Abu Makelwan. Mshololo then said, you didn't see anyone. Then Twala said, yes, I didn't. Mtogo said the police only checked the dustbin and they should have checked the fridge. Did you hear that?
I heard that. In a sense, yeah, he's right. If they left the ones that were in the fridge, and if there was any alcohol in the fridge, they should have also took that as evidence.
But I'm like, why would you care about the ones that in the fridge? Because the ones that are pictured are the ones that were consumed, and yours, particularly Hunter's gold,
Is not there.
is not there.
They should have went to the dustbin also, as he said.
But they did go to the dustbin, didn't they?
We never know.
Well, Mshololo then asked, according to police, this is the only thing they found at the scene. These are the only cans they found at the scene. And Twala said yes. Mshololo asked, and it does not show the cans you drank. Twala said yes. The first suspect entered the house after we drank alcohol. So the first suspect entered the house after they drank alcohol, and it is your evidence that the alleged first intruder was wearing a hat and had the dreads. But when you were testifying in court, you could not describe the hat that was worn by the alleged first intruder. The state objected, and the judge agreed, defending the Brim situation, saying that
You
the
see what
witness
happened there. The judge was almost
demonstrated-
caught again with his pants down.
demonstrated, he said the witness demonstrated the type of hat that he saw.
Yes. Which is what he did.
We didn't see that. We are unfortunately denied the visuals of the people testifying in court. So we cannot now, we didn't see that. We saw you assisting and bringing up Obegicel and stuff.
It would be interesting just to ask, for argument's sake, to say that after the first proceedings that happened before De Novo and all that, did you get any difficulties living your life? Was there anyone who troubled you after that? Would you say not being showed on television denies you a chance to actually show the people and take the people into confidence that you as a friend are doing anything that you can do to help your friend? Just such questions. I mean, even though someone's going to object, because at this point in time, I don't see any point of hiding what we call these people. They still continue and go live their lives.
Yes. There's no point anymore. There are pictures.
Thanks,
on the
Mulifi,
internet.
for donation. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And Bona, their pictures are all over the internet. Like, we know what they look like and stuff like
Yes, and they live life. They even now say where
They
they're
post
from, Lazi.
themselves. Yes,
They
they
tell the
even put
address and all this. What is wrong now? Why can't they just continue and show us everything? I mean, it's pointless to hide them.
And the danger here is his tone is giving very much defensive, is giving very much I don't want to be here, is giving very much
I just want to get out of
I just
here.
want to get out of here. That's what it's giving. It doesn't give much of I want justice for Senzo. The tone itself alone as he answers, especially to the
It is
defense
too
counsel.
passive, yes.
Yeah, it's too passive. It's not giving. So it would have helped him to show the visuals, but I guess it is what it is. We are here now. So the judge asked Mtogo to demonstrate to Mshololo what he meant when he was demonstrating, because the judge is the one who saw Mtogo demonstrate. Mtogo denied that the judge assisted him. He said it was Mshololo who did not understand him. Then Mshololo said, I need the description of the hat from you to be put on the record.
Yeah.
And Twala refused, saying that he had already described it. So when you gave the description, Mshololo asked, you said it was round according to your description. Then Twala said, the way I explained it here, Tumelo on the day of the incident was also wearing a hat. Am I correct? Then Twala said, is there a difference between a hat? Said he's getting confused.
Hey, my George, hey, you'll end up changing everything.
Once they brought up Tumelo and a hat.
You'll end up changing everything. What is a hat?
see. Then after Mshololo showed the exhibit of the head that was found by the photographer, Sergeant Thabo Msiya, the one who testified before Dinovo. He showed and went to the screen to point. This is Mtogo now. He actually went to the screen to point what the head looked like and what he was referring to with the round thingy.
Yes.
But I did not hear him confirm that that head was the actual head that the intruder was wearing. Did you hear him? Maybe I missed it, guys. Did I miss it?
Yeah, you probably did. I don't know. But for me, I didn't. I didn't see it.
He was supposed to say, yes, that's the hat the first intruder was wearing. But he's like, no, what I was describing is that it's round. It's round. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on here? Then Mshololo went through the description of the first suspect with Mtogo. Twala said he doesn't remember if he had any gold teeth. He thinks his dreadlocks were loose and not tied because he was wearing a hat. And he said that they were protruding. So in other words, you could not see his face because there were dreadlocks on his face and he had on a hat. Then Twala said, how would I not see him because his face showed?
We don't know.
Mshololo then asked, the reason you could not identify anyone is because when the incident happened, you had drank alcohol. Twala said yes.
You were
but
warned.
I drank
You warned Mshololo yesterday not to bring the alcohol issue.
I did. They're never going to admit that they were drunk, Mshololo.
Yeah.
They're never, no matter how much you push, they're never going to admit that they were drunk. So he said, I could see clearly. Look at me. I could see clearly. That's what Mtogo said. So at the ID parade, Mshololo asked, you want this court to believe that the intruder you saw was carrying a firearm when you cannot even tell the part of the firearm you saw, which makes you say that it was a firearm? Then Togo said yes. When you were at Ngache's homestead, what caused you to come back into the house where there was danger? If it is true that you had left someone with a firearm, you left an intruder with a firearm who was attacking people. Then Twala said, I think you had already asked me that question, but I will answer it. What made me go back into the house was that I heard screams. Now, who hears screams and goes back?
After running out of those screams. It was a quiet fight. But after running out of that quiet fight,
Who hears screams?
And you know what the funny thing is? It portrayed the quiet fight. We were told about almost the quiet fight. And then all of a sudden the neighbors heard. That's why they were out.
Who hears screams? Abantu bayamemeza laphayana. Where?
And then you go there.
You go there.
You want to be a hero. After running out of that. No, you can actually be a hero and go back there. But not when you ran out knowing the circumstances of what is happening there.
You ran.
Hey.
Then you hear screams.
And you go back.
And Kelly's mother says, he says that Kelly's mother then came out. He says he then asked Kelly's mother, where is the person with the gun? Then she said he ran away. It is what made him go back inside the house. He said, I didn't just run back into the house. Okay? So Mshololo asked, you saw no one coming out. What time did he come out? And Twala said, I don't know what time he came out because when I went back, he was no longer in the house. At the time that you jumped into the Ngaches, did you lose sight of the Kumalo homestead? And Twala said, at the time I entered the Ngaches, I entered scared about what had just happened. As people entered the house, it's not like I was chilling and watching the kitchen. What does he mean by that? It's not like I was chilling and watching the kitchen. Who asked you about the kitchen?
Yeah, he was trying to say I didn't see what was happening in the kitchen.
Who asked you about the kitchen?
Nobody.
But at the time, you jumped into the Ngaches up until the time you came back. You didn't see anyone leaving with a firearm. Then
Yes.
Tola said, I think that I have already said that I didn't see a criminal with a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
He denied that he was confused at the time. So now here I'm throwing in my 2 cents, Mr. Anonymous, and my speculation, you guys.
Do.
What if the person that chased Mtogo was actually Longwe? And he saved himself by jumping into the notches, and Longwe continued to run in the forward direction. This is what made...
That is if you accept the theory of him going out of the gate. Do you accept that theory?
I accept it.
That he
For
went out
now.
of the gate?
I accepted that he went... I'm going to take his word for it for now. I don't believe it.
I accept
for
the
this
initial
scenario-
theory of jumping the wall.
Of jumping the wall.
I accept that theory.
And then Longwe couldn't find him, and he went out and he ran towards the street. It's just as... It's just as...
I do believe that allegedly there might have been a fight in the house. And then somewhere, somehow, someone was disarmed. And then when that person was disarmed, then someone pulled the trigger by mistake. And then everyone, after that trigger was pulled, they took cover. One maybe might have went out, opened the door, ran out. It's too hot in the house. You open the door. Because if the bullet that hit the door is anything to go by, after that, you open the door, you're like, and you are not chased by anyone. You just jump out. You're like, what have I seen? You jump out, you go to the neighbor. When you are on that side of the neighbors, you realize that actually there's no danger back there, except that whatever that happened, it happened through that moment. You jump back in before you even tell them anything. That is a theory that I can accept.
Because this is what made him certain to jump back to the Kumalos. If this speculation of mine, if I can picture it. Because if you know that the person that's chasing you has just went down the street, you will jump back without doubt that they were still there. First, before even asking if the coast was clear. And perhaps he was certain that the coast was clear before jumping back, because even Kai Ngaje did say that it did not take him long before he jumped back.
That's what I'm
It's just a speculation of mine.
So you are saying there was someone chasing? I don't think so. I don't, and I will tell you why. If he
Why?
was chased, and let's assume that the person that was chasing him had a weapon. After doing that, maybe after something like that has happened, you are already reckless. You are afraid of any loose ends. What would you do if someone is running away from you?
You would go back.
No, you would take them.
So you would take them
Eh.
physically.
Yes.
But I
Not
think they
physical.
had a knife.
Not physical.
How would you take them?
You have a weapon. You've just made a mistake and someone has just seen you.
Oh,
What
you mean
should you
for
do?
the second intruder? Yeah, definitely they would have followed through. They would have. They would
Yes.
have jumped in there with you, and yeah, it was gonna be nasty.
So it must have been someone that this guy was familiar with to jump back, to know that it's not dangerous.
Anymore. You
That's my
understand?
theory. Obviously, that's my assumption.
That's a speculation.
Speculation.
Guys. It's just a speculation, because this jumping of the wall situation is just got me dizzy. How he's explaining
I
it.
don't believe that. To make things easier, that house is facing Ngashe's house. So for you to run and get out of the gate, you need to get out of the kitchen, take that corner as if you are running towards the other side. And that's where the gate
get
is.
out.
That means you pass the danger box
Yes.
inside the house, and then you turn back again. You go the other way. That theory is so it's
And
too
still
it's
Tabs
there's
didn't
too much
see
there's too much in it. I mean, that person, when we are busy going out the right way of the gate, that person can jump the wall and intercept you. So I don't think that theory is true. But the theory of jumping the kitchen, just after you get out of the kitchen, you just jump on the other side.
Direct walk.
That theory could actually be something.
Because imagine if someone is chasing you and they're getting out and you just jump the wall like that, they would be confused.
They would be
as to
surprised.
where you went. They'd actually get out of the gate and try to find you.
Mm.
I don't know if it makes sense, guys. That's just my speculation. But let's move. Then Mshololo then said, so Makumalo was the first to come out. And Twala said, I'd say Makumalo was the first person I saw, not that she was the first to exit the house. Then Mshololo asked, when you entered the house and found Senzo, did you see Kelly, Zandi, and Makumalo? Twala said that he did not see Kelly and Zandi, but entered with Makumalo. Yeah. Then there was a adjournment. Was it a long adjournment? Then they said that they are going to... There was a cross-examination actually just before that. There was a cross-examination by Advocate Baloyi that I did not record. I mean...
No, that one is pointless.
I did not record that cross-examination because it's like, I think I've gotten everything that I need, guys. Otherwise, this show is going to be too long. No, it's just a repetition of everything, trying to clarify the statements that he made with the cross-examination.
So that therefore means the lines are open. Can we, before we start calling, can we like this video, guys? Take our time, like the video. So if you have liked the video, then you can call and subscribe, guys. Remember, we're chasing that 500. Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you. And I think our first giver was Molif. Thank you very much.
Molifi, thank
Twice.
you.
You did it twice. Thank you very much, guys. So please press that like button and subscribe. Share the video. And you can call.
And just before she closed the cross-examination, she was trying to ask about how Dumene was commenting on how Zandi spoke. I even remember that, guys, because I do listen like that. There's a part where he said that Zandi speaks the way you can hear Zandi's talking in this court. You can hear that her Zulu is what. And then Advocate Mshololo was like, it means you were watching her testimony. And Twala said that he does not watch the trial. He knows Zandi's Zulu because he stayed with Zandi before. He knows her Zulu. And now you're like... Okay, in the midst of trying to deny what you said in court...
Mshololo was excited. He could have just let this guy the right way. Like, okay, where would you have known Zandi's Zulu? Perhaps something like... Because if you direct, it sounds like already you want to catch me off guard. Just in a nice way.
But he threw me off when he said he stayed with Zandi before.
Yeah, I would say we went to Malbertin. There's that always that Malbertin.
Uzandi umuntu engihlale naye. Asas, guys, the lines are open. You can now call in. The number is scrolling down below the screen. If you've been watching, guys, for the past, I don't know how long.
Yeah, guys, let's just push the lights. The numbers are scrolling the line.
You can call in. And please, guys, we have to put this disclaimer. Do not put allegations that have not been proven or founded or that are just too extreme.
If they are proven in your head, it is okay. Maybe they are also proven in our head.
Find a way to put it.
Mzansi Reality, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, how are you, Mzansi Reality?
We are good, and you?
I'm good, man.
Yes.
Yes, I want to remain anonymous as well, like anonymous.
You can be between.
Good day, Emily.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Emily?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm good. I just want to put a few points on this issue.
Yes.
Where I find it a bit lacking on the defense side. Let me start here. The burden of proof lies with the state.
Yes.
They have to prove beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes.
what about the suspect? They don't have such resources to prove beyond reasonable doubt. So they should prove on a balance of probability.
Yes.
However, our defense counselors, they are relying mainly on the objective and the subjective test. They are ignoring the balance of probability. And the judge is laying a good foundation for them. How the judge is conducting himself in this case. He is not thinking clarifying questions during cross-examination, during leading of evidence, during re-examination. He only think clarifying question, and it's not clarifying question in actual fact. He is laying the foundation for the defense to say, dwell in this. I'll give you an example. He asked about the 25th in Malbati. How many were they in Malbati? There were 4 of them. However, Long were followed with another girl, which is Precious. If you put the defense hypothesis is that Senzo was shot while Longwe and Zandi were fighting and he was trying to separate the fight. So you need to bring a balance of probability which will lead to the court to say that yes, indeed, there was tension or conflict between Longwe and Zandi. The Malbatin situation, it's a conflict on itself. It is a conflict. There are 2 guys, 2 girls inside the house. The boyfriend come with another girlfriend. That is already a conflict. And according to Mtoko, they stood by the kitchen. They were not allowed in. So our defense did not pay attention to details when it comes to that aspect. And that was a good balance of probability to them.
I like your view, man. I like
that. Yes, that is one. I have no problem with the judge. The judge is fair. The defense sometimes they ask contradicting questions to their hypothesis. They contradict themselves. They contradict their hypothesis. You are saying that there was intruders. There were no intruders in the house. However, when you ask a question which suggests that there was intruders. For example, the second intruder had no knife or had no sharp object on it. So you are suggesting that the second intruder was there but not carrying a knife, a sharp object.
Yeah.
So yes, the judge is correct in that. The judge already has got facts on the case. If you look at how this case has been unfolding, the judge only lay foundations, and in the end, to each and every witness. That is, you will lay a foundation for the defense and ask them, do you have questions to what I've raised? No, no judges conduct themselves in that manner. Less judges. The judges will ask clarity questions during examination if the judge did not understand what the witness responded to say. Oh, when you say this, are you saying this? Are you saying in this manner? That's way correct. However, the judge put questions to the witness in the end. They foundation. Follow that foundation. But the defense are not following that foundation. That's the problem.
They've taken a position of saying that they will prove whatever they want to prove by showing the lies that
the lie. So that's why I say they are relying mainly on the objective and the subjective test. And is that going to help them to prove their hypothesis? Whatever defects, yes, there are defects on testimony, but are those defects material enough to prove your hypothesis?
That's why he keeps asking, is it immaterial or material? He keeps asking that a lot.
Yes, he's asking that because if somebody say I had 2 shots, someone said I had 3 shots, someone said I had 1, is it material enough to prove that there were no intruders?
No, I get
It
you.
is not.
It is
It is not material enough. So, and yes, indeed, it will be objectively so that no, the witnesses are contradicting each other. However, does it prove that there was no intruder? Because you need to put some sort of proof.
No, I fully agree and understand your position.
I did not phone in I failed to phone in after the same evidence. I don't know if I can put some points there.
Put
Yo,
points.
put points.
Maybe I'll be.
You're welcome.
No, you are welcome.
Okay. With the Colonel Stein evidence, I tend to believe that evidence it's correct in this manner.
Yeah.
The accused did not deny in actual fact.
Yes.
I don't know whether they will deny when it is their turn. I'm not so sure. But the questioning, they were not denying the numbers. They were not denying the contact. However, for example, Mr. Ramsipuli stood up and talked about the tower.
Yeah.
And to clearly indicate that Colonel Stein is an expert on this issue. He explained, and the Ramsipuli agreed to that effect. That yes, a tower can be divided into 3, they are Aryan, whatever. And Ramsipuli agreed. Then their argument, they are arguing that are you an expert or not an expert? Immaterial, argue on the evidence. And he started very well because I gave him credit to all others. I gave Ramsipuli credit to the other 3. Because he's the one who had a reasonable explanation to what to the evidence. Number 1, he said for accused number 1 knows Ntuli who passed away. And he contacted Ntuli. Ntuli was the link, remember?
Yes.
Accused number 2, he bought a cell phone in 2019. However, that need evidence as well. So they are supposed to apply for to make an application in order to obtain a court order, which will then retrieve that evidence, a transaction in 2019 from Markhams or Dance, to can come and convince the court that indeed the phone was bought in 2019.
Yeah.
But by mere saying, it becomes a problem. And thirdly, to defend expect testimony, you need an expert. Hence, the judge said, "Are you bringing an expert to defend, to counteract or refute the evidence which was led by Colonel Stein?" And then he said no. So, which means there are no expert witness. I know it's expensive to get an expert witness. It's expensive to apply for Section 205. It's very expensive. It costs about, for one number, it might cost about 30 to 40,000. So it's very expensive. Yeah. So you understand. So that's the problem. So at least Ramsipili put it clearly that suspect number 1 knew the disease. Suspect number 2 bought a phone in this. Yes, but we still need something to convince the court. When it comes to suspect number 3, Mr. Mnisi shouldn't have stood up and cross-examined because the downloads were from the suspect's phone. So anyway, if it is from the suspect's phone, then the pictures, if they can only explain that, oh, these are the wrong pictures, it's not me, or it's somebody, or it's me, I was whatever. And they should have looked, what he did not look at on those pictures because the pictures were taken at 7:30, I believe, according to the evidence.
Yes.
However, we needed to determine from the picture whether it was during the night or during the day. You can see in a picture if it's during the day. You can see a picture which was taken during the night with the assistance of a flashlight.
Yes.
So that is what you should have dwelt much on to identify that context of the picture, whether it is during the day or during the night. That is what I wanted to hear from number 3.
Yes.
Number 3. Yes.
Yeah, it's number 3.
Yes, that is what I wanted to hear from number 3. But from number 4 did not stood up. His client was not implicated. Number 5, Advocate Mshololo.
Yes.
She did not either deny nor accept whether the number belongs to the accused. We cannot argue. She denied. She might have denied what, but she denied the rigging of the number.
Yes.
Whether the numbers were rigged or not rigged. In this instance, it is immaterial to say was the number rigged on his name. He is here in court, and the number they are saying that it belongs to you. What do you say? Does it belong to you?
No,
or it does not belong to you? You need to answer, does it belong to you or it doesn't belong to you? So we cannot argue to whether it was rigged on your name or not rigged on your name. We need to counteract to say, no, I don't know this number. Or I know this number, and you give a reasonable explanation.
Yeah.
Why you contacted Kelly. That's it. There are so many reasonable explanations that can be given. I would have formulated one to say, we wanted a gig with Kelly because she is a Kelly booking. So, yes, you can formulate so many reasonable explanations. So if you're not denying and then you are counteracting the system, then it becomes a problem because you are not an expert on that system. You need to bring an expert to counteract the system. Thank you very much, Mzansi Reality. Let me not take the whole time for.
You just schooled us.
We just feel like you are there. You are there.
You're a lawyer.
No, I have a lot. We can talk up to until the morning.
Yeah.
But we have other listeners and viewers, so we need to share the chance.
Yes. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah. No, after that, then you don't like the video, guys.
Then you don't like, guys. How many do we have? How many likes do we have?
We have 300.
I'm gonna begin begging, guys. Please like the video. I'm begging you. We are begging for likes on Mzansi Reality, okay? And we are not ashamed about it. We're going to beg you. Please like the video. Please press the like button, okay? Please press the like. After that call and you still don't like the video. Guys, you're disappointing me.
All right. Let's see. Thank you, caller. Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The caller sounds like
a lawyer.
I don't know about
Sounded like a lawyer, definitely. But
yeah, but we're not gonna dwell on that because we don't wanna give away our people.
We wanted to be anonymous.
Yes,
for a reason.
yes. Let us continue.
So let's protect his yes.
Mzansi, hello.
Hey.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, and you?
We are good.
Yes, I'm on live for what?
Yes,
you are definitely live.
Okay, got the switcher on off the radio.
Yes.
Yes. What I want to say is simple, and I'm not gonna be. This state in association that's what I think.
Yes.
I think Ekas Lilia.
Yes.
There's a camera. Phezulu, Apollo. uthi rotating there. But ngiyazwa bakhuluma but abakhulumi ngendaba le camera information yale camera ukuthi isebenza le camera. Khona ukubona ukuthi awubani baphumile abantu bangenile. Mina in my side akekho umuntu ophumile. Ngihlala ngale kule Kasile.
I
was there at that time, but I cannot mention anything, my name and everything.
Yes.
That camera ngikhuluma ngayo ise-apoleni phezulu. Iya rotator, iya scroller. There's somebody who's moving. We don't know what is it what using that camera. But nobody have a comment say level abami bo check the camera with information.
No one thought of checking that camera.
Yes, but the corner is also corner namanje. And the man ngathi ayisasebenzi. But that time they sebenzi. It's Apollo. So imagine into my say Apollo from like corner Apollo is like Ukeli Kumalo is gonna be plus minus 3 kilometers. Iphezulu Apollo phezulu. So ikhona ukubona yonke into eyenzakala lapha. So, but there's no one who mention about that camera. So, somewhere, somehow, mina in my side.
Yeah.
Since ngihlala kule Kasile. Bakhona amaphoyisa abhataliwe.
Yeah.
What information ilahleke, whatever, what's happening. So, because this thing is going up and yafuneka inini, that's when now baqala ukuphuma yonke into, but kunento bazifihlayo bangakhona ukuzifihla. Because some of thina abanye abantu asikhona ukuziveza ukuthi what's happening end up becoming because of yazi mokubhatala abantu, which means it will be untested now. But ikhona le camera leyo ihlezi, it's like ngofika kule Kasile la Kheli Khumalo kaSihlanu uyibheka phezulu Apollo nozoyibona ikhona i-camera emuvayo, it's rotating. Kasile ekhumule phambi kwe shopping center. Yeah, that camera is rotating. You can see everything, but akekho umuntu okhulume ngayo. So which means there's a problem. Yeah, balahlekana nge-information lapha e-court balahlekana, but akekho umuntu wezana le problem ukuthi there's a camera lapha. Iphi le camera leyo?
Just get that information.
Yes, iphi le camera leyo? Iphi? Abasikayi information yale camera ukuthi isebenza le camera.
Yo.
Because iphezulu, camera ephezulu. Yonke indawo. Ikhona ukubona yonke le kasincane leliya incane. It's preview Mzamo shopping center. Iphambi kwe shopping center BP garage Mzamo Kheli Khumalo spray view. You can see the direction of they are rotated that camera. So why ingabonanga lapho asepeni?
I'm sure ibonile. Kodwa phela ikuzi isebenze idinga abantu abazoyilandela.
Stage le camera leyo ke ukufaka ileto lena i-camera epholini ileto lena i-government because of i-pole government and asi-pole le light ithe dibizani i-Apollo the tower the bigger one. Asi anyone who got authority uvula la fanele ubize la government babuye ba replace ama light in the information but probably esekhulile.
Hayi mfowethu
amathana zawaphume nalabantu kufanele baboshwe baningi asibo kuphela kufanele kuboshwe namaphoyisa phezulu akhona lokhwabanisa ngiyathola
sikuthola kahle mfowaba
umuntu ufile sekuyisikhathi eside sekusebenza ama-taxpayers money manje.
Yeah.
And there's people who suffering through that. So nabo laba nabasendlini they must come. Mina ngabe ngiyini I will come with a clear mfethu ukuthi hayi labo banye ngiyabakhipha hayi mamelana kusona so story ningavelelana nibhatale because confuse yonke lento lena abanye bakhulumile lapha ku Netflix ukuthi hayi ngabhatalwa mina into why you still doing awunalembeza unembeza more we want you have a problem you still have face problem because of there's God there's you.
Yes.
More we want there's two different things akusena abanye abantu. You know the truth, and the truth must set you free.
It must.
You're gonna live with this thing for the rest of your life.
Osumdala usasitshela usulikhehla ehlala likhala.
Sokholwa kanjani kamba manga icourt.
You can't have a peace in your life. You can't have a peace.
It's not worth it.
You can lie and lie and lie, but the light must appear. You can't have a peace.
Hey.
So it's dangerous. Your life, your family, everything. That's about you. I started saying now, share a note because of that thing in the wood that could just.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to say that about that. It is kind of a phone.
Siyabonga.
Ngibonga thina mara le camera nafanele wayifuthi ngisaba nokureport ukuthi inyanizwa nakhuluma why le camera ningakhulumi ngayo
Asikaze sibone mfethu thina asikaze sibone
Khohliwe bengimncane mangihlale eKasile neApollo ngiyakhumbula iCamera ikhona bayayifaka ine Apollo ikhona iCamera lapha ya
Sis ngisahlala lapho ikhona le camera le ngiyakutshela
Yo
the incident when it happened the camera was working. I was there kule Kasile. I know even around there's no umuntu suspect yaphume yadla phansi. Ngakhohlisana ukhulumile next door yathi baphumile babheka. I was there. But I was not there with them. I was in the park. Ikasile lincane there's a people ababhizi azana we like everyone uyazana. So it's not easy ukuthi isiphamu sikhale ngapha umuntu ophume ngapha angabonakali kulabantu bonke bayo lapha bayazana abantu balapha close mathi lapha the youth they know each other so ukaziwa ngestory into yabo yaphelela endlini yenzo endlini yaphelela lapha
hayi mfowethu sikuzwa kahle siyabonga
ukubonga mina
siyabonga ngane yakwethu Nice, it's a nice Friday. It's a chill Friday. Like the video, subscribe. Let us hit that 500. Just like the video and call. Why are you not calling?
Like
are you?
I had forgotten that in
Let me answer this. Mzansi, hello. Hello?
Hey, Mr. Anonymous.
Sikhona
Mfowethu.
mfowethu.
Sharp. Kunjani sis?
Siyaphila. Just go for it.
Okay, right. Let me shoot then.
Shoot.
I'm calling regarding the caller ye Apollo.
Yeah.
Hello.
Why you ningaveli ke system?
Yes.
Are you hear me guys? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, le outtake ye Apollo why singayenzi something ukuthi indaba ye Apollo ivele like ikubonakala ukuthi kwenzakalani kahle.
Yeah,
Manje angithi iApollo no umasipala and umasipala is falling under the state. Yayibona
and this is Emily go notice ngitshele something yabona manje ubaloyi ne ubaloyi guys userious bafethu ubaloyi serious akayithatha edlalako ke manje and then angazi ukuthi ama defender awaya ngayiboni la yini kuthi ubaloyi serious these days uyambona nje these days ukuthi akasafuni mix uyala ubaloyi understand ukuthi okay fine ama defender waya ngasho ukuthi hayi no ndoda yazi the experience engaka labantu bakho phela singababambile because it seems like ngathi relaxile or bayamsaba ngi-understand mara kumele bam-expose kancane nje ubaloyi ukuthi indoda phela ukhumbule ukuthi abantu wena ubabophile abantu abarong i-wrongful arrest leyo so guys le case leyo yona inzima because abantu abasiphethe badlalile ngathi too much ayidlaliwe nge-South Africa la too much it just that nje asazi ukuthi yini esingayenza nathi ukuthi vele yonke into ukuthi those people abalapha ba wrong aba-deserve ukuthi bangaba lapha then babeke abantu kumele baboshwe kube yibo abangena lapha because manje mina ngifila ishame ngalabantu abalapha ukuthi so bakhipha kanjani bafethu into esingayenza anything esingayenza nathi nje
Yeah, I think the talking, we are here, we are looking, we're just watching as public. That's what we're doing. Better. Can you imagine if this thing was happening in the behind the curtains?
Yeah.
Yes, and angithi ngilento beyifuna ubaloyi. That's why bekakhala lana afuna ukuthi singasaboni ukuthi kuyo icase ihamba kanjani. Lokhu busy protect abokheli na yazi amara Jesus Christ mara. No, ayikho right into le ayenzako lo baba lona.
Ziyakuthola mfethu athi sinikeza abanye.
No, okay, right, Mr. Anonymous Temkos from Etembisa, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Temkos, thank you. Yeah. Allegedly, everything. Allegedly.
Oh my God.
Allegedly. Everything said yes, alleged. Yeah. So, guys, let us subscribe. Let's like. Let us keep calling. It's fine. You still have time, guys. Call. It's Friday today. What are you doing? Why are you not calling? We're taking calls. If we miss you, it's okay. Someone was on the call. Let us call. But again, let us remember to argue within our boundaries.
Yeah, within our boundaries.
That's all we are asking for.
We still need the platform. We can't have it now being in a dire state.
No one is gonna do that. Don't even give them those ideas. Let's go. Continue, guys. Keep calling.
Oh my God! I want to get that. Serious.
Nzansi, hello.
Serious, yo.
Mr. Anonymous.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Minjani?
Sikhona mfowethu.
Ngiyaphila. Ngisacela ukuba anonymous, ne?
Yiba anonymous. Ube online though. Ube in line, sorry. Not in line, we're in line. Yeah.
Hayi, ngisendaweni right.
Sure.
Sesemeli Mr. Anonymous, ngathi nginento enimisile namuhla court ne.
Sure.
All right.
I-re-examination ya Mr. Baloyi makaqeda lo judge ube nama questions for le witness.
Oh, I didn't cover that part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So ngibone la ku first call ngathi Emily ekabuka ukuthi ukhuluma ngani like le call phela khuluma ngale interaction yale judge nale witness nama questions.
Yep.
So the first question the judge ebenayo for umthoko ukuthi nge-25 ebusuku wambona ulongwethwala na. Because khumbula ufakazi bazani ukuthi wabona ulongwethwala ubheka nabo le Albertine.
Yes.
Ye-Wi-Fi. So le judge libuze le question leyo washo umthoko ukuthi mina ngambona. So it contradiction there. So that was the first question the judge elibuze umthoko yona. The second question was, did they conspire? The people laba beba like Albertine ebusuku that they ba conspire na ukuthi kungenzeka into leso. And another question again le judge ube ne question ukuthi umthoko did he go to the funeral? Washo ukuthi uyile emncwabeni waphinda wambuza ukuthi likhona ikhaza wadlala ekuqhutheleni umncwabo. Washo ukuthi ube part for a memorial service. Then wambuza ukuthi Khumalo waye emncwabeni na. Washo ukuthi Khumalo azangaye emncwabeni bebambhenile. Bangakambuza ukuthi why yiphi reason ukuthi angaye emncwabeni. So washo ukuthi bambhenile Khumalo ukuthi aye emncwabeni.
Yeah.
Wathi longethwala waye emncwabeni na. Longethwala azangaye la emncwabeni uthatha kwambona. So maqeda wabuza i-defense ukuthi any questions. So that's giving me indlela yokuthi the line of questioning ngifuna ukuthi nibe kuye yini.
Yes.
So he asked the defense ukuthi anyway khona engabuza in line kulama questions engimbuza ko. Then Ramosepele le khathi azowatshela ukuthi Zandi bekan uthe unolongwe but umthoko uthi bekangekho longo that day.
Yeah.
But i-question bengifuna ukuthi babuze umthoko ukuthi le emncwabeni if beba bonke ngi-26 makwenzeka the incident, why then mhlawumbe ulongwe angayi emncwabeni? Because lento yenzeke babonke just to show umndeni support. Yabo into lenjalo. That's a sign because abantu abamnyama and sinokunye. That's a sign ukuthi no man khona lento beyimuhle ukuthi wayangayi emncwabeni. And enye into ukuthi angazi noma ngingangile ukuthi
there were certain times la bamention khona igama la Thamsanqa Kapuza.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. So prior to the incident leyo kushona kwaSenzo, Kapuza bheka bonke nakoSenzo, and there was a point in time la le endlini kwatholakala Kapuza, Senzo, Zandi naKid. Le Malbatin ekhaya la Senzo. Yes. So Senzo ukuthi uyosahlanganisa eKapuza naZandi. And Zandi akasuspend isikhathi nalo. Because an instruction was given by Senzo ukuthi if longa uzama ukuba in contact amakhozi akangabantu. It's there on Netflix nasebhukwini ukhona because I read the book.
Yeah.
Nasebhukwini kukhona. So lokho kwaba ama frustration because the relationship yazandi nalo they say efficient bengathi isikhathi eside bathandana. So at that time prior to ukushoneni kwaSenzo beseka bila lo. Because here I am, my girlfriend. I-girlfriend yami seyisemoyeni ihlala ingasizwa wami nomuntu wakhe, and angeke kwenzeke ukuthi ungenzeki something lapho.
Sure.
And prior to lokho nge-25 khumbula ukuthi Zandi bekangekho nalo. Sonakala ukuthi le endlini Albertine longwe le Albertine bekunaSenzo naKelly naZandi namthoko. Osuthi umthokoze guy and umngane waSenzo. So sabayithula abangani baSenzo uKapuza umthoko. Nge-26 makafika lapha endlini Longwe ngokuyibuka kwami na Mr. Anonymous bengekho happy nakancane because of how izinto beselokuthi transpire ngakhona, and in the midst of everything Senzo ukhona.
Sure.
So makazosho mthoko kule bhuku lelamadlala, because there was a point in time kule bhuku uyasho ukuthi kwathi bangena Longa kwaba ngathi kungena ingelosi yokufa.
Sure.
So nako lokho bekasho something maybe ifuna ukuthi ube deep now ucabanga ukuthi uthini lo muntu. So ngesingami ngicabanga ukuthi kwaqatshwana lapha endlini, and emaqatshwana so already abantu bebaphuzile. Because I believe ukuthi even ngeSaturday leyo bebaphuza so even nale Sunday leyo bachubeka baphuza. So abantu vele bese ba angazona mse allegedly ngani yonke into allegedly. Yeah. So ngicabanga ukuthi labantu vele beyabantu ukuthi abekho esimeni lesi-right.
Sure.
So maye yonke lento leyenze uyazi mawungekho right, maye yonke lento yenze anazi ukuthi nenzeni ikhanda labantu wonke umuntu le commotion njengale ndlela njengakhona makuchuma isibhamu uzazi wonke umuntu uzoyalina yabo.
Sure.
So kona kubuhlungu because uhambile uSenzo umndeni yasokola iSouth Africa ilahlekelwe and uthi bona abangani abangani bakho kumele khona ila ubona khona ukuthi kubalekile ukuthi choose abantu aba-right empilweni zethu. Yilesini le ingeke because uhambile Senzo family man ushiyile abazali babakhe naye waze wahamba yabona nje ngale ndlela esiphila ngakhona impilo.
Yeah.
So akhenginika amanye ithuba manje ukuthi bakhulume ngizobamba online. Ngibonge kakhulu.
Thank you futhi.
Siyabonga.
Oh, Friday is good. Mzansi, hello.
Good morning, Mr. Anonymous and Emily.
Morning.
I'm good, thank you. I've got 3 things that I need to address that just bugging my head. One is the witness, and then 2 is the 2 questions that were posed by the judge at the end of the session today.
Sure.
Yeah, when it comes to the witnesses, I'm not too sure whether we are going to have one person that is going to definitely say, I saw someone who showed Senzo.
Yeah.
Because at this rate, I will not be surprised if Mam Kumalo, Kelly's mom, comes and say, no, me when Senzo was shot, I was hiding under a couch or something. Because none of these people will say, I saw Senzo being shot.
Yeah.
And it's surprising that 7 people are in the house. no one saw Senzo being shot. That's one. And then the second thing is, I think it's Colonel Stein. Colonel Stein, I know we might dispute some of the things that he says in his evidence. And I mean, for us to judge whether a person is expert or not, I think where we normally get it wrong is we are assessing a qualification as an expert. But guys, a qualification without any experience is useless. Also, experience without a qualification doesn't add a lot. But I'm telling you, based on what that Colonel Stein brought about, is a lot of information that was not disputed. And even now, in this case, it's even helping us to put in one and one together into this story. The information from Stein. So I take it, for me, there's some truth in what he's saying. Because look at the SMS that Longwe said, Eotwala sent to, I think it's another, Longwe 2 or something. He said 26 past 8. Yes. 26 past 8. He is saying Senzo is dead. In the SMS, yeah. So you cannot remember. Longo was there. We might not be sure in terms of accounting these people accounting for what he was, but he was there. Longo was there, and he's sure 26 past 8. Senzo is being said to be dead. That's why it explains the struggle to carry him to the car. You will not struggle to carry a person who's not dead. You just two people who carry Senzo, one on the arm, one on the arm. You walk with Senzo and put him in the car. Yes. But if he's dead, you'll be heavy. Yeah, you'll be heavy.
Yeah.
That's one. And then two, I know the judge is not my favorite person because sometimes he answers questions for the person who's giving evidence first before the person gives evidence. That's because he is already understood what the person is saying, which might be right, but I think the process is not right. But when it comes to being fair and answering or asking the right questions, the judge is perfect. The story on where our problem started in this case where Senzo ended up being shot at, it started on the 25th. That's where the story started. Because you cannot tell me that Zandi says Longe was in Malbato. And then this guy, Mtogo, says, they were talking on the kitchen. I didn't see who the person was. Surely. The person that you heard or you spoke to yesterday, or you not even speak, but you were with yesterday. I'm quite sure if we ask Zandi Longwe, where did Longwe actually come and sit inside the house, he would definitely say he was inside that house. I'm sure. Definitely sure because of that. And then the last question that the judge asked is very important. He says, were you conspiring to kill Senzo? The conspiring, they never conspired to kill Senzo. Senzo was shot at, killed in a heat of a moment, dead. But the conspiring happened after. That's what I'm saying. The judge, even the defense was sleeping because the judge only asked, were you conspiring before? And then the defense must also say, did you conspire after? Because after is what they now put this narrative of how many bullets are we going to say. Even for Lorraine to run across the road to look for Ntabiseng and explain the story. Me, I will take it as part of conspiring. I'll also take it. And even the jumping of Toko to the neighbor, it is part of the conspiring because now they have to come up with a story. This is what it happened. Yeah. So that's my two cents. Yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Guys.
All that we say here is alleged, and it is of our viewers, even though it's alleged.
The
it's
views
not
and
us.
opinions expressed on Mzansi Realities are those of the viewers and not that of the channel. The views
even though
of
we
the
still are
presenters
alleging.
are that of the presenters and not that of the channel.
Okay, let's continue. Say hello.
Longo was in Malbato.
Mzansi, hello?
This guy,
You see, the problem is the
Let's
noise.
switch
You are
off the
busting
TV.
me on the noise. Try to call again.
Switch
Let me
it
take
off and
this
then
one.
try and call again.
Mzansi, hello.
Nina.
Mr. Anonymous, how are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. Emily, how are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm blessed. Today, yes, this is Marcella again, calling from USA.
Yes, welcome back.
Can you guys hear me clearly?
We can hear you clearly.
Okay, yes. You know, I was listening to another guy. Even yesterday, I forget to mention when Nandi was giving a statement, she did say something about at Kelly and Senzo's house. It was Kelly, it was Senzo, it was her, and it was Longwe, and it was Mtogo.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then she said Longwe left around midnight.
Yes. Yes, I remember.
Yesterday I wanted to talk about it, but I wasn't sure. But I know I heard somebody, but I couldn't remember it was last year or now. But I know someone said something like that. So if you listen to Mtogo right now, he distanced himself that he know Longwe.
He couldn't recognize him.
He couldn't recognize it. Big is Kelly's house. I mean, if somebody, they ask him today, was the house dark or light? And then he said, no, we cannot sit in the house which was dark. We all know, even if it's a mansion or how big, can sit in the living room and visiting somebody. And then somebody talking to somebody in the kitchen. They never come in the living room. But I'll see. There's lights on. Tomorrow, if I'm going to meet that person, I'll say, oh, you know what? That's the same guy who was at the house last night. Okay? But if you look at it, Mtogo tried to distance himself that he know, because Longo left the house. How he was pissed off at Nandi. How are you going to stay here? Yeah. Then how are you going to stay here? And I'm leaving. And it's you, your sister's boyfriend, and another guy I don't even know. I mean, Senzo's friend. I'm a man. I'm going to feel that same way. What's going to happen after I leave?
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what happened the following day. When Longo went over there, he was still pissed off. That's why they remember the statement and saying, Longwe, Nandi and Longwe, they were fighting. Right? And Senzo tried to stop the fight. Which fight? The fight because of what happened on the 25th. Okay?
Yeah.
Because we are all here in the house. I cannot leave my girlfriend in the house. I mean, your sister, the boyfriend, is me, is you, and another guy. And then I'm going to leave and go home and leave your sister and your sister's boyfriend. And then you and another guy. And I go home. Obvious. What's going to happen after I leave? Whatever you're going to tell me, nothing happened, I'm still going to be pissed off. And that's why you see Mtongo trying to pull himself away and say he doesn't recognize who was in the house that night. How possible is that? Because he know exactly what happened. That's why when they ask him, Mshololo asked him, okay, are you going to tell the truth about your best friend? Yes. Senzo was my best friend. But what I did, I regret, and I lost my best friend. I shouldn't did that, okay? Because whatever happened, they never thought it will end up that way.
Yeah. No.
Okay? Then, you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand where you're going, where you're driving this. Let me just cut you for here so that we can hear the next callers.
Okay, let's go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Thank you.
We have long calls. It's difficult to manage people. It's hard, you know. I used to ask myself how the radio does it, but
Yeah.
it's hard
I also wonder how the radio
it's hard
do it.
to cut someone. It's very hard.
Especially when
but
they
let
have
us
a
try
long
to
thought, like-
minimize the convo so that we give others a chance. Mzansi, hello.
Difficult to manage. No, I used to ask.
Hello.
Okay, gonna take the next person. If you call, trust that we will take your call. Just the radio though. Mzansi, hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Sorry. I'm good, thanks. I'm sorry, I've got nothing to contribute at the moment. But then I was wondering if English, because I'm from Zimbabwe and I can't really hear because of the language barrier. I know it's hard, obviously, but I was just wondering if you could be a bit inclusive.
The best maybe that I can try and do is cut up the calls and to have subtitles.
Yeah, that's the best we can
That's
do
the
because
best I can
look at how long one person can take sometimes. We try to cut them short so
Right,
that
okay.
but we understand where you come from.
Well, I'll say I was okay. That's fine. No
Yeah, we
worries.
understand. So I'm gonna try and do something about that so that you guys don't miss out on anything. So I will try and add the subtitles to the ones in Vernac. How is that?
Oh,
All right.
Fine.
that'll be better. Thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
All right.
Right. Please like the video, guys. I see we're still sitting on 300. I don't know, man. I wish I could just help. Like. Let's like the video. 300.
Guys, let's like the
Let's
video. I'm
like the
begging for
video.
likes.
Subscribe.
I'm begging for likes. Okay? Press that like button. Press it. You press it. Otherwise,
Right,
you're
Emil.
closing
I'm just
the
gonna
lines.
take the last person, and I understand the caller.
Yeah, we understand. Guys, for you who are
Mzansi, hello.
non-Vernac, I'll think of something, but I've already thought of how I'm going to do it.
How are you?
Ngiyaphila njani?
Sibona mfethu njani?
Ngiyaphila mfethu. Cha, Mr. Anonymous.
Yebo.
Bengicela ukubuza la into eyodwa.
Buza mfethu.
Utolika, does it cost uyabakhost abantu utolika? Etolika enkantolo.
Yeah.
Kanjani?
Sengisho ukuthi ke mhlawumbe ma utolika into eshiwoyo ebese nitolika ngenye indlela then witness iziphendula ngenye indlela does it cost i-case yona.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But would it change the outcome of the case? A bit if the person who's on the stand does not understand the language, they say the English language, but most of these people, what we've found out is that they can comprehend. It's just that they still prefer to default to Zulu, most of them, but they do understand what is being said, because some of them, they would be agitated to even answer before the Toliga. Toliga is more for the accused.
Accused 1 to 5.
Sort of ngiyayikabuka namhlanje. And inkantolo I think ukuthi acceptile leyo into leyo. But thina like ezitheni into esingayazi. ukuthi owasenkandla owasempendle owasemkomazi akusho lutho lokho.
Yebo.
Yabo lo nto right.
Yebo.
Izulu sakho nje siphelele lapho.
Yebo.
Mhlawumbe mangicabanga abalungu bala eSouth Africa nabelungu base-England nabelungu base-Spain abakhuluma English efanayo angithi.
No.
But it's English angithi.
Yeah.
But why must kufika enkantolo yase-South Africa then bese kuzothiwa ke uZulu Sotho because uZulu ohlala eGoli cannot talk njengomZulu ohlala enkandla. Mawusuke enkandla usufika eGoli isiZulu sakho siyashintsha mhlawumbe.
Khona isiZulu kukhona izinto ngampela ezingakubophisa mangathiwa uzothetha icala eNatal uthetha ngesiZulu usuke eGoli zikhona izinto engafike zikubophe ngoba uzogcina ususitshela ukuthi ulambile.
So manje mawucabanga Mr Anonymous abantu bakanongoma kuba ngwazi unongoma nje alakazi ucabanga abantu bakanongoma bengafika eGoli bezokhuluma uZulu Sotho futhi bebehlala ehostel ngokusho kwecala bezokhuluma uZulu Sotho lapha osho umuntu wenkantolo.
Ngeke mfowethu ngeke asishintshe ulimi thina cha siyothathekile.
Okay,
siyabonga mfowethu.
Hayi khona.
Right.
I remember the Nandipa best that Sesotho that was there in the English translation was so on point. And then I remember Ngizwe Mchunu's case as well. The Zulu translator there was on point.
Hardcore Zulu.
Hardcore.
Manje ke wena mfana wakamchunu awuthi nje qaphu kabanzi ngalolu daba le. Guys, we understand it's difficult. How would you even translate what is being said? But basically the caller was
specifically introspectively
the caller was just saying that it does not matter what Zulu you speak, as long as it's Zulu, it shouldn't be, I think
it matters.
It shouldn't matter, basically. That's what he was saying.
It matters.
So
it matters because especially if you are not like the accused, for example, the caliber of Zulu, it matters to them so that they can understand. That's why Mshololo always insists on there being translations. It matters.
All right, guys. Much love from me. If you can just push that like for 500. Come on, guys, before I exit.
We're begging for likes.
Just 500 so that tomorrow is a long day. This video can do well. It depends on your like, guys.
It depends on how.
For others to see it, they need those likes. Thank you for the donations for those who donated.
Thank you. They are highly appreciated.
Thank you for the contribution. For those who came to contribute in terms of giving and more knowledge. Thank you to everyone and our members, our callers who made this possible for us. Today they were on fire, as everyone was saying.
Yes, definitely.
And then Candy G, love from Swaziland. We love you. Eswatini. We love you there. Let me see. Sizwe, as usual, you are always here. Thank you for being with us. I understand. None, no offense taken. And Michael Lee and Nomusa and Khatid. Greatness. Mlabala Bazwida. Thank you guys. Just those are the people that I could see who have been here. Mandla and then S. Pepe Jomane. Yes. Thank you guys. Please like the video on your way out. Enjoy your Friday, your Saturday.
Your weekend.
Your weekend.
Your weekend. Enjoy
Bye, guys.
it. We'll be back on Monday.
Yes.
And thank you so much. Ayini.